space. It looks like Don Richard testified as a witness to basically Cassie getting messed up. We basically had a video here, basically Don basically
Speaks
leaving
the
the court,
truth.
yeah, basically speaking the truth. And also we got the bodyguard here. We're gonna play the video and let you know exactly how bad Don fumbled to mess up this whole case.
Will you be back on Monday?
Have you had a chance to chat with Cassie or like see Cassie? I know this have you been used maybe were you trying to see like
Dawn, did he abuse you when you were in Danny the case?
We're not going to talk about the facts of the case right now.
What are the facts of the case?
hey y'all the facts? What have you been up to or any music dropping? I know you're an artist first before anything.
Where did you get your clothes, Dawn?
Where'd you get your clothes?
Gene.
That's that Gene dude that does a whole bunch of interviews on that fake DJ Lad
And you the same size as
podcast.
Uncle Phil. And you the same size as Professor Ogilvy. And you the same size as Lucien Griez, Clive Davis. Why you want us to believe that you weren't at them parties participating in that behavior, Gene? We heard everything you got to say on the line, Gene. Gene, are you a victim of Diddy?
Are you a victim of Diddy?
Some space, y'all. Hold up.
Okay, hold on. I think we're Why are you testifying today?
Not at all.
You are. So why are you here? Tell
All right, give him some
Because
space,
you were the
y'all.
original
Give him
person
some
that
space.
told us about Diddy for
Please
years.
give him some
I was
space.
never scared. And he never sued too. So tell us, why are you here?
So tell us.
All right, watch our backs, y'all. Watch our backs.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Ever since you went independent, do you talk to Diddy?
Not as often as I'd like, but that's the homie forever.
As I like.
People will never understand that relationship. You know, like, people didn't know that Puff had bought me out of a contract
Wow.
prior to even getting on the show.
Really?
So I had loyalty to that, you know, and that's a respect that I understand that I loved my group, and I know that it wasn't I chose Puff over my group at the time. It was more of when someone does that, where I come from, you got to respect that on a large level. So I gave loyalty to him, and I think I'll never forget that. And my father and my mother, for what we gone through, we'll never forget that. And I think with all his crazy, I look at things like that as loyalty. So I was loyal to him, and I paid my dues back like a businesswoman should.
Right.
Until he said, okay, your dues are paid, and then I left. Not, I'm gonna leave you after you did me something,
And then just
solid, and then say, oh, by the way, thank you for buying out my contract, but now I'm gonna go over here. I just never said anything
Wow, I didn't
about
know he
that.
bought that contract
and I
out.
never told anybody. I took all the hate that came with it, that people thought I had didn't choose my group. I just took it because it's a loyalty thing for me. It's a respect.
Diddy had a type.
You're loyal at first, and now you're not loyal, and then you got Aubrey O'Day, man. This whole
Oh my
thing,
God.
its situation is crazy. So, I mean, once you start hearing the witness list, you know, the feds have 3 victims. The 3 victims is Cassie. There's a John Doe. Some people think it's 50 Cent baby mama, and then there's another person, but they're missing. So right now they have 3 victims and a bunch of witnesses. So it looks like here the next witness to the stand is Don. And you think when Don comes to the stand, like you finna hear something new, like, oh yeah, Diddy did this to me, Diddy did that. But Diddy also captured me. Diddy also threw me in the garage, had me locked up and all this stuff, and had me in some crazy deal. But no, she didn't talk about that. She talked about Diddy basically attacking her with a skillet pan because she didn't want to cook breakfast. And she's like, oh yeah, Diddy attacked her with a skillet pan, then he drug her like up the room, and then all you heard was like glass breaking and everything. So she didn't see anything. She just seen like Diddy throw a skillet pans, Cassie ducked, and then he drug her to the room. So I mean, once again, you got another he say, she say. Nobody's seen
But
anything.
she got cooked in the courtroom. We saw Myron talk about that, who was talking to academics, saying that she got absolutely cooked. And they even asked her, like, why do you take so long to now do this after the Cassie stuff came out? And they're like, are you doing it for doing just the money? And she was like, no. And they're like, well, what are you doing it for? And she's like, the compensation.
Exactly.
Which is the money. So it's like she's literally admitting that the only reason she's doing this is for the money. So
Exactly.
there's
Then
a
you got
lot
this-
of things. It's crazy. Like, this is such a serious case, but it's like, I don't know how Diddy keeps on catching these breaks where it's like all this stuff is like making the case look harder and harder for him to be found guilty.
I mean, I feel like the way that he may win is because the way that he has his lawyers. Like, remember, he has like all these different lawyers. So usually, like, if somebody gets a RICO case, like a regular person, you have like one lawyer. He'll do it all. So like, you got one lawyer versus the feds. The feds got a team, or the feds got one person, and like they know how to go against one person. You know, you can practice against one person, but if you got like a team of everybody, it's like basically like it's like the Mavs versus the Celtics in the championship game all over again. Like, if everybody can shoot threes, like, it's kind of hard, and everybody can basically can dribble the ball. Like, we might be messed up because everybody can do something. And like, every time another witness comes up, they have a different lawyer to talk to them.
So they have like a lawyer per person almost.
Yeah, they have a lawyer per person that knows how to handle the situation. Like with Cassie, they had like instead of having a male lawyer go up and talk because they feel like to the juries that they would have thought like a man talking to a pregnant woman. They would have
a woman lawyer.
Yeah, so they had a woman lawyer. So this one, they had a male lawyer.
They were playing it each time. Mm-hmm. So it's like however the matchup looks.
Mm-hmm. That's what they're doing. And they hit with Cassie they hit Dawn with a hard ball, and you see, like you said, she fumbled.
Really, you should have I would just have an all-woman lawyer team.
You don't want that
because the women could talk to the women.
True.
And then you have the if the woman's talking to a man, then she could be like, this guy's being crazy. True. But then you have a man closer who gets serious at the end.
Exactly, and make sure that man closer basically knows the judge. It makes you like real cool with the judge.
Yeah, it's the homie.
He plays golf. Make sure you got. He
plays golf.
He plays golf with the judge.
It's crazy that you're really paying for the relationships that these lawyers have with the people, and it's like, and then when you go to like a jury trial, like, and then it's like the jury could be like any random people. You could get all people in the same tax bracket. Some people above, some people below. It's crazy. You can get a combination of any type of people. And what if you get all trash people? Like, what if you get a group of jurors that all have androids?
Oh, Lord.
You're like, I'm cooked.
That's classist. You can't say that. But I mean, yeah, it is. But I mean, I understand what you're saying. But I'm just kidding. You understand? I mean, it could be some people. I mean, Diddy is known to pay a lot of people off because I mean, he does have money. Like you said, he has them people were paying $20 an hour. Court cases like 8 hours long. You see these people doing streams. I be sitting here watching it. Literally, I be sitting here watching the true crime TV shows. It be 8 hours, and out of 8 hours, they only talk for a total of like 40 minutes. So the whole time you just watching the front because you can't listen in. You just watching the front of the building, and people just walk past. And then, like, every few minutes, you say,
they get that's how they get people to they're just streaming constantly.
It's like this, like, okay, you get a lunch break.
Yeah.
You get the inner court break. You get, like, a recent break. You probably get, like, two.
So you get, like, the halftime show.
And you get, like, yeah, basically like that. You get a halftime show. Like
you don't get to watch the game, but you get, like, the halftime show and timeouts. Because they'll call recess. Because there'll be a few breaks throughout the day.
That's basically how it's going.
Yeah. And then they catch it. They try to. That's crazy to be in court all day. And then every time you get a break, you're getting hounded for, like, what's going on? Give me an update.
That's how it is, and that's how it is. And also, you see how Myron was talking about how some people are camping out like by 5 p.m. the day before because it's a long line. Especially like when Cassie was there, it was a long line there. So basically, like you either camping out, you're waiting, or you're paying somebody to wait for you.
Yeah.
So it's like easy money.
That's wild that they
want. It's like the biggest
you have to
OJ.
wait like that. Yeah, and it's like it's first come first serve, right? So
yeah.
That's how it goes. What's crazy is that they had people wearing the free Diddy T-shirts and getting paid $20. I mean,
easy money.
I would probably have done it just like for 1 hour just to get the free T-shirt.
True.
Like, at least get $20 in the T-shirt.
I mean,
the T-shirt nowadays is $45. And you know what's crazy is I would like leave and then come back and be like, oh, I left a T-shirt. I need another T-shirt.
Oh Lord.
And then I would take those T-shirts and sell them on eBay. Because it's like people are saying this case is like a current times O.J. Simpson case, like that level of big.
Yeah, everybody can eat off this case.
And it's like it's literal merch. They might be making a movie down the road, and they have the free Diddy shirts, and you're like, I got the real one. You got one to sell right away and one to hold on and sell later.
I mean, you see everybody making money off of Diddy. You see TMZ every time you turn around. TMZ's making a new documentary.
I mean, we're monetized on Tales from the Crib and TFTC clips, so we're literally making
This case is
The
huge.
Diddy money.
They say it's gonna be 8. They say it's gonna be 8 weeks long. I really don't feel like it's gonna be 8 weeks long because if everybody keeps talking about the same thing about DV, because Donna went up, Cassie's mom just went up.
Crazy.
She didn't see anything. Only thing like she just knew about like she basically seen her daughter. So basically like she never seen Diddy beat up her daughter, but the daughter came home and the daughter had a black eye. Or like the daughter
seen
came
her
home, the
beat up.
daughter didn't have a phone, so she called Diddy and Diddy gave her the phone. Or like
Diddy
it was,
sound like she was rollerblading again.
I mean, so you have that situation. So it's a lot of that situation. Like everybody they call in, like they call it in. Coming up next, you have Kid Cudi. Kid Cudi's coming up next. He's gonna talk about more DV stuff. So I mean, it just seems like
Man, Kid Cudi's being summoned.
Yeah, Kid Cudi's being summoned. A lot of the escort, they call it a couple of the escorts, but all of the escorts are coming up and saying like, yeah, Diddy paid me to come. Yeah,
I was literally wondering, like, my co-host was gonna be like, "Oh, I gotta go back home for a week," and then they're gonna be like, "Little Dennis enters the courtroom," and I'm gonna be like, "I knew it."
I'm like, I would never snitch. I mean, he paying everybody the money. He's paying people just to sit there and wait.
Yeah,
Sometimes you ain't gonna do anything.
yeah. There definitely would have been signs if you were been getting Diddy dirty money.
I'm over here getting 2K, 3K coming over all the good food, all the pictures in New York or whatever I at, Miami, New York, California, whatever.
I'm sending you to Idaho.
Come on, man. I catch a clap for 40K for Cassie. It's worth it.
Caught it for free in spring break 2013, but
Disrespectful, but y'all comment down below how y'all feel about this case is going.
that's what happens when you hang out at Port A.
Exactly.
Comment up.
Comment down below how you feel about how this case is going. Do you feel like Diddy's winning? Diddy's losing?
That's enough. I'm enough talking about Diddy.
You done with Diddy?
I'm done.
You did it out. You mad they talk about Tupac yet?
You're gonna get biggied if you don't watch out.
All right.
But yeah, you know,